Fireman Sam and the Fireworks. It was November the 5th, bonfire night, and Fireman Sam was planning a big fireworks party for everyone in Pontypandy. "I'll have 2 of your biggest boxes of fireworks, please, Dilys," he said. "2?" cried Dilys. "That'll cost a lot of money, you know." "Well, it'll be worth it, Dilys," said Fireman Sam. "I want to put on a good show for the children. I'd rather they came to my bonfire party than stayed at home and messed about with fireworks on their own." "Quite right, Fireman Sam," said Dilys. "Now, just hold on a minute while I fetch the key to the fireworks cupboard." While Fireman Sam paid for the fireworks, Dilys's son Norman watched from the back of the shop. "I wonder if he's picked the box with the brilliant big rocket," he thought, but he couldn't see very much from where he was standing. He moved a bit closer. "Ah, Norman, there you are," said his mum. "Come and give Fireman Sam a hand with these boxes. There's a dear." Norman helped Fireman Sam carry the boxes outside. "You'll be coming along tonight, won't you, Norman?" asked Fireman Sam. "Of course," said Norman. "I just wish I could set off all those fireworks myself." "No, you can't do that," said Fireman Sam. "It's far too dangerous, but you can come and watch me set up the fireworks ready for tonight if you like." Sarah and James came running out of Bella's cafe. "Can we watch too, Uncle Sam?" they asked. "Yes, you can all come and watch," laughed Fireman Sam, "as long as you promise to do exactly as I say." "We promise," said the 3 children. "Righty-o," said Fireman Sam. "I'll see you all later this afternoon then." Fireman Sam pedalled slowly up the hill to Pontypandy Fire Station. It was hard work with 2 big boxes weighing him down, but he finally arrived and climbed off his bike. He picked up both boxes and set off up the path. "Phew," muttered Fireman Sam. "These are too heavy. I'll have to leave one of them on the path and come back for it in a minute." He carefully lowered one of the boxes onto the path and carried the other one into the garage. But as soon as Fireman Sam had gone inside, Norman popped out from behind a tree. "I must see if Fireman Sam's got that big rocket," thought Norman, and he lifted the lid off the box of fireworks. But just as Norman was about to look through the fireworks, he heard the office door slam. "Bother," he thought, and hid behind the tree again. Station Officer Steele was very surprised to see an open box of fireworks lying on the fire station path. "This is shocking," he snapped. "I'd better move these to a safe place before there's an accident." He picked up the box, carried it into his office, and locked the fireworks away in his cupboard. "Oh no," groaned Norman. "Now there'll be trouble." And he set off back into town as fast as he could. A few minutes later, Station Officer Steele came out and followed him down the hill towards Pontypandy. They had just disappeared from view when Fireman Sam came striding out of the garage. "What's going on?" he cried. "Where are my fireworks?" He looked around, but there was nobody about. Nobody except Fireman Elvis Cridlington cooking dinner in the fire station kitchen. "Elvis, have you seen a big box of fireworks?" asked Fireman Sam. "I haven't seen anything but this pan of soup all day," moaned Elvis. "Why is it always so lumpy?" "Never mind that," said Fireman Sam. "This is much more important. Who on earth could have taken it?" "Well, I did see that Norman hanging around earlier, and come to think of it, he was looking a bit guilty," said Elvis. Yes, he was very interested in my boxes of fireworks," said Fireman Sam. "He said he wanted to set off all the fireworks himself." "Well, there you are," said Elvis. "You'd better get down to Dilys's and see what he's up to fast." Norman arrived home and slipped inside. There was nobody in the shop, and he knew his mum was in the kitchen because he could hear her singing at the top of her voice as she washed up the dishes. "I think I'll pinch a bit of that bonfire toffee," thought Norman, spotting a jar on the counter. He picked out the biggest bit and shoved it into his mouth. That's nice," he mumbled. He didn't realize it was everlasting toffee, the sort that fills up your mouth and goes on and on and on. A moment later, Fireman Sam burst into the shop. "Norman!" he yelled. "Where are my fireworks?" Norman's eyes nearly popped out of his head. He tried to speak through his mouthful of toffee. "Don't mess about with me, Norman. Did you take those fireworks?" asked Fireman Sam. Dilys rushed in with wet, soapy hands. "What's going on?" she cried. "I think Norman's taken some of my fireworks," said Fireman Sam, "and I want to know where they are." "Norman!" gasped Dilys. "How could you do such a naughty thing?" Norman continued to choke on his toffee. "Don't talk to me like that," snapped his mother. "Tell Fireman Sam where those fireworks are this minute." But Norman couldn't speak. "Right, that's it," cried Dilys. "If you won't tell Fireman Sam where you've hidden the fireworks, then you're not going to the party tonight." Norman spluttered in reply. "Go to your room," ordered Dilys, "and stay there until I tell you to come down." Norman was furious. "I won't listen to another word," said Dilys, and left poor Norman sulking in his bedroom. Up at the fire station, Sarah and James were waiting for Fireman Sam. "Can we watch you set up the fireworks?" asked Sarah. "Of course you can," answered Fireman Sam, "though there won't be as many fireworks as I'd hoped. Norman's taken the second box of fireworks and I don't know where he's hidden it." "Gosh," said James, "I never thought Norman would be that naughty." "Neither did I," said Fireman Sam. He sorted out the fireworks and took them over to the big platform he and Elvis had built earlier that day. "Now listen carefully," he said. "You can stand close up now, but tonight when I'm setting off the fireworks you must stay right away from them with everybody else." "We will, Uncle Sam," promised the twins. "You must never go near a lighted firework," said Fireman Sam, "and you must never ever touch one, even if you think it's gone out. It may still be lit and it could suddenly go off in your face. Then you'd have to spend bonfire night in the hospital. You wouldn't like that." "No, we wouldn't," cried Sarah and James. "Right then, let's get started," said Fireman Sam. "These are the Catherine wheels. I'll nail them to the platform nice and firm so they can whiz around but won't fall off. And here are the rockets," he added, taking them out of the box. "Hey, brilliant big rockets," said Sarah. "That's right," said Fireman Sam. "These will go in these tubes I'm sticking in the ground." "Why?" asked James. "So that they will fly straight up into the sky," said Fireman Sam. "Now we've got volcanoes, Roman candles, cascades and snow fountains. These will all go on the platform so everybody will have a good view. I'm going to put a rope across the path right here, and everybody must stand behind it, well back from the fireworks." By the time they'd finished, it was getting dark. "Time to light up the night," laughed Fireman Sam. "Let's get this bonfire going." When everybody in the town saw the fire crackling and blazing, they rushed up the hill to the fire station. "Oh, how beautiful!" sighed Bella. "That's just the start," said Fireman Sam, and he lit the first rocket. It shot up into the dark sky, a flash of gold and a trail of dazzling pink stars. The crowd cried out in delight. The Roman candles were next. They exploded in a rush of blazing yellow, and then the volcanoes spurted out bright fountains of silver and gold. The crowd gasped. The Catherine wheels whirled and swirled in a glittering shower of red and blue and green. The crowd laughed, and then the last rocket whistled across the sky, and it was all over. "More!" shouted the crowd. "Sorry, there aren't any more," said Fireman Sam. "Oh, yes, there are," said Station Officer Steele, and he stepped forward with a big box of fireworks. "Here," he said, "have these." "What?" spluttered Fireman Sam. "But they're mine. I bought them this morning. Where did you find them?" "They were lying on the path right outside my office," said Steele. "Very dangerous, I thought, so I locked them up nice and safe in my cupboard." "Oh, no," groaned Fireman Sam. "I've made a terrible mistake." He left Elvis and Station Officer Steele in charge of the bonfire and hurried down the hill to Pontypandy. Down at Dilys's, Norman had been trying to watch the fireworks display from his bedroom window, but the tree outside blocked his view. "Bother this," he thought. "I'm going to sneak out and get a better look at those fireworks." He wriggled through the window and started to climb down the tree. Rip went his trousers as they caught on a branch. No matter how he struggled, he couldn't get free. Dilys was very surprised to see Fireman Sam standing on her back doorstep. "Hello there," she said. "What can I do for you?" "I've come to take Norman to the party," said Fireman Sam. "He didn't take the fireworks. Station Officer Steele had them. I'm very sorry I accused Norman of doing such a bad thing." "My poor boy," cried Dilys. "I'll call him down at once." But Norman wasn't in his room. "Help!" he yelled. "I'm out here stuck in the tree." Fireman Sam couldn't climb up and Norman couldn't climb down. "Hang on, Norman," called Fireman Sam. "I'll send for Jupiter." Fireman Trevor Evans was on duty that night. He drove Jupiter down to Pontypandy and parked her beneath the tree, then extended the ladder as far as it would go. Fireman Sam climbed up. "Please be careful," shouted Dilys. "Don't drop him." Fireman Sam unhooked Norman's trousers and held him firmly over his shoulder. "Steady now," he said, and climbed down to Dilys. "Oh, thank you, Fireman Sam," she cried. "Thank you for rescuing my boy." "That's quite all right, Dilys," said Fireman Sam. "I think I owe Norman an apology." "What?" gasped Norman. "Aren't you angry with me?" "Certainly not," answered Fireman Sam. "I know now that it wasn't you who took those fireworks. It was Officer Steele. I'm very sorry I got things wrong, Norman, and I'm even sorrier that you've missed half of the party. But if we hurry, we'll be in time to see the second lot of fireworks." Trevor Evans drove Fireman Sam, Dilys and Norman up the hill to the fire station where everyone was waiting. Station Officer Steele and Elvis Cridlington had just finished setting up the second lot of fireworks. Fireman Sam lit the first rocket. It was a brilliant big one. Norman jumped for joy. "That's it!" he yelled. "That's the one I was looking for!" The rocket raced across the sky, followed by another and another and another. Finally, when all the fireworks were finished, everybody stood around the dying fire and shared out their supper. Bella had brought some parkin. Station Officer Steele had brought some lemonade. Sarah and James had brought some gingerbread people. Elvis had baked lots of potatoes and made some pasties. And Dilys had brought a large jar of bonfire toffee. "Help yourself," said Dilys, and Norman passed the jar around with a secret smile on his face. "Thanks," said Sarah and James. "Nice," said Bella. I do like a bit of toffee," said Officer Steele. Everyone had a great big piece of toffee, except Norman. Fireman Sam spluttered. Bella giggled. Officer Steele gnashed his teeth. The twins laughed. Norman also roared with laughter. "Now you know why I was all stuck up. It's everlasting toffee, and it goes on and on and on."